At number 8 is the 2001 to 2005 Pontiac Aztek, a crossover SUV so ugly it became a cultural punchline. Pontiac unveiled the Aztek in 2001 as their innovative entry into the emerging crossover market. What they delivered was a design disaster that traumatized eyeballs across America. The Aztek styling was universally panned, featuring awkward body cladding, mismatched proportions, and a front end that looked like it was designed by committee blindfolded. Built on the GM U-Body minivan platform, it measured 182 inches long and offered seating for 5. Under the hood sat a 3.4-liter V6 producing 185 horsepower, adequate but uninspiring power that delivered mediocre 16 miles per gallon in city driving. Beyond the catastrophic styling, the Aztek suffered from cheap interior materials, uncomfortable seating, and poor build quality. Plastic trim pieces rattled constantly, the dashboard felt hollow and tinny, and reliability issues plagued early models. Pontiac projected sales of 75,000 units annually, but sold only 27,793 in the first year. Total production reached just 119,000 units before cancellation in 2005. The Aztek became synonymous with design failure, regularly topping worst-looking car lists and damaging Pontiac's performance brand image permanently. At number 7, we have the Chrysler Sebring, a mid-size sedan that represented everything wrong with pre-bankruptcy Chrysler. Launched in 2007, the Sebring was supposed to compete with the Honda Accord and Toyota Camry. Instead, it became a rental car staple that buyers actively avoided. The Sebring measured 191 inches long and came with 3 engine options: a weak 2.4-liter 4-cylinder producing 173 horsepower, a 2.7-liter V6 with 189 horses, or a 3.5-liter V6 making 235 horsepower. Even with a larger V6, performance was lackluster, and fuel economy hovered around a disappointing 18 miles per gallon in city driving. The interior was a catastrophe of hard plastics, cheap materials, and a dashboard that looked 10 years outdated on day one. Reliability was abysmal. The 2.7-liter V6 became notorious for engine sludge issues, leading to catastrophic failures and expensive replacements. Electrical problems plagued the model, with window regulators, power locks, and the infotainment system failing regularly. Coming in at number 6 is the legendary Ford Edsel, history's most famous commercial failure. Ford invested $250 million in 1950s money, equivalent to over $2 billion today, creating an entirely new brand. What they delivered became synonymous with catastrophic product launches. The Edsel featured controversial styling, including a vertical grille that critics compared to a horse collar or toilet seat. Beyond aesthetics, the car suffered crippling mechanical problems. The Teletouch push-button transmission, mounted in the steering wheel hub, frequently malfunctioned, leaving drivers stranded. Electrical systems failed regularly. Build quality was abysmal, with misaligned body panels, leaking seals, and trim pieces falling off brand-new cars. Ford projected 200,000 sales annually, but sold only 63,000 Edsels in the first year. By 1960, Ford pulled the plug after selling just 110,000 total units across all model years. The Edsel lost Ford over $350 million, a staggering sum that threatened the company's financial stability. Marketing couldn't overcome poor execution, terrible timing during a recession, and a product that simply wasn't ready for public consumption.
Number 5 is the Cadillac Cimarron, a badge engineering catastrophe that nearly destroyed Cadillac's luxury reputation. Desperate to compete in the compact luxury market, Cadillac took a Chevrolet Cavalier, added leather seats and a wreath and crest emblem, then charged nearly double the price. The Cimarron debuted with a pathetic 88 horsepower 1.8-liter 4-cylinder engine, identical to the base Cavalier. Buyers paying luxury prices got Chevrolet economy car performance, with 0 to 60 times exceeding 13 seconds. The car shared its basic dashboard, switchgear, and interior components with the bargain basement Cavalier, making the premium pricing insulting to informed consumers. Cadillac later attempted damage control by offering a 2.8-liter V6, producing 130 horsepower, but the damage was done. The automotive press savaged the Cimarron mercilessly. Motor Trend called it proof that Cadillac had lost touch with luxury buyers. Sales never met projections, with just 132,000 sold over 7 years. Number 4 brings us the Ford Mustang II, a pony car that traded muscle for mediocrity. When the 1973 oil crisis hit, Ford panicked and transformed America's iconic Mustang into an economy car platform based on the Ford Pinto. What emerged was a betrayal of everything the Mustang represented. The base Mustang II came with a wheezing 88 horsepower 2.3-liter four-cylinder engine derived from the Pinto. Even the optional 2.8-liter V6 produced just 105 horsepower, pathetic compared to previous Mustang generations. The so-called Performance 302 V8 option, when finally offered, generated only 140 horsepower due to emission strangling, taking over 10 seconds to reach 60 miles per hour. Built on the subcompact Pinto platform, the Mustang II measured 175 inches long, 13 inches shorter than the original 1965 Mustang. The cramped interior, cheap plastics, and tinny construction quality felt nothing like a proper performance car. Ford sold 1.1 million Mustang IIs, but enthusiasts universally reject this generation. It represents the darkest period in Mustang history, when bean counters murdered driving excitement in favor of corporate profits and fuel economy numbers, betraying the legacy Steve McQueen made famous. Taking the bronze medal for automotive disasters is the Cadillac Fleetwood V8 6.4, an engineering nightmare disguised as innovation. In 1981, Cadillac introduced cylinder deactivation technology on their flagship luxury sedan, promising V8 power with V6 fuel economy. The execution was catastrophic, creating one of the most unreliable luxury cars ever built. The 6.0-liter V8 featured computer-controlled solenoids that deactivated cylinders based on driving conditions, switching between 8, 6, or 4 cylinders. The primitive 1981 computer technology couldn't handle the complexity. The system constantly malfunctioned, leaving cars running on mismatched cylinder combinations, stalling at traffic lights, or stuck permanently in 4-cylinder mode. Owners reported nightmarish reliability issues. The deactivation system failed repeatedly, requiring expensive repairs at Cadillac dealerships that often couldn't diagnose the problems. Fuel economy gains proved minimal when the system actually worked. After just one model year, Cadillac abandoned the technology and offered free modifications to permanently disable the system, essentially admitting total failure.
Number 2. 1971 to 1980 Chevrolet Vega. Our runner-up is the Chevrolet Vega, a compact car that promised fuel efficiency but delivered pure frustration. Launched in 1971, GM designed the Vega to compete with imported economy cars during the fuel crisis era. It featured an aluminum block engine, a revolutionary concept that quickly became its downfall. The Vega's 2.3-liter inline-4 produced just 90 horsepower, barely enough to move its 2,200-pound frame. But power wasn't the problem. The aluminum block, designed without a proper cylinder liner, warped catastrophically. Owners reported excessive oil consumption, overheating, and complete engine failure, often before hitting 50,000 miles. The car also suffered from severe rust issues, with body panels deteriorating within just 2 years in salt belt states. GM sold over 2 million Vegas, making this one of the most widespread automotive disasters in American history. Consumer Reports called it one of the worst cars ever made. The Vegas failure cost GM billions in warranty claims and irreparably damaged their reputation for small car engineering. And the absolute worst car in U.S. history is the Ford Pinto, a subcompact that became synonymous with corporate negligence and deadly engineering. The Pinto wasn't just reliable, it was dangerous, with a fatal design flaw that Ford knew about but chose to ignore for profit. The Pinto's rear-mounted fuel tank sat dangerously close to the rear bumper with inadequate protection. In rear-end collisions above 25 miles per hour, the tank could rupture, fuel lines could tear, and the cabin could erupt in flames. Internal Ford documents revealed engineers identified this issue before production, but calculated that paying wrongful death settlements would cost less than redesigning the fuel system, approximately $11 per car. Between 1971 and 1978, the defective fuel system caused an estimated 27 deaths and countless injuries from fire-related accidents. The subsequent lawsuits and criminal charges against Ford executives created legal precedent for corporate liability and product safety. One lawsuit resulted in a $128 million verdict, though later reduced. Ford eventually recalled 1.5 million Pintos in 1978 to add fuel tank protection, finally admitting the design was fatally flawed. The Pinto destroyed Ford's reputation and changed automotive safety regulations forever. It remains the ultimate example of putting profits before human life, earning its place as the absolute worst car in American history.